Back, everyone. We have an update from Renforth Resources, Inc., which trades on the OTCQB under the symbol RFHRF and on the CSE under the symbol RFR. It's a secure multi-commodity area play offering exposure to gold, zinc, nickel, copper, cobalt, and more, including lithium. Renforth's land position encompasses several areas of interest. Happy to welcome back President and CEO Nicole Brewster. Happy New Year, Nicole.
Thanks so much. Happy New Year to you. Here we go into 2024. So I'm going to go through my slideshow because you guys don't need to see me. Going to go through a fairly quick update overview. Ask questions afterwards, please, if there's time. Otherwise, please email me, Nicole at renforthresources.com. You're duly cautioned. I'm the president CEO. While not intended to be a solicitation, note I'm not a financial advisor. And if you do have any questions, please ask them. So we're going to speak today about the whole basket, actually, about Victoria, which is the 20-kilometer long mineralized structure across the center of Surmo, Beaupré, which is our copper discovery in the northeast corner of Surmo, and I'm going to touch briefly on our Parbec gold deposit. This slide is meant to illustrate to you the thing you need to keep foremost in your mind when you're considering Renforth, which is our significant logistics or location advantage. That's unparalleled. Nobody has similar. It's going to have dramatic effect. It affects our ability to do pretty much anything we want. We have all the resources. You can see along the highway and the Cadillac break there, all the mines. So all the services we need are in the area. We've got the road, we've got the hydroelectric power. In the future, the function of this is that were there to be a decision made to mine, it would push the cutoff grades really low because it's very cost effective to mine or explore in this setting. When you look at what's happening in the world today, you know, Quebec's near north is a phenomenal place to be, in my opinion. So, Victoria, what did we do? We finished off the year with just over 3,500 meters drilled in 11 drill holes. These holes were designed to infill our previous drilling over approximately 2.2 kilometers of strike from the road to the west, and they were also undercutting some previous results. So this little map gives you a picture of the holes we actually drilled. Each of these holes did deliver visual mineralization. That mineralization, when spot tested with an XRF, delivered some of the best results we've seen on the property so far. And we're getting a little bit deeper. So this program also served to really solidify our understanding of the mineralization. And that is going to allow us to, once our assay results are in, which are expected by the end of the month, that's going to allow us to really tighten up our model over the 2.2 kilometers. Then we can extrapolate that over the 20 kilometers because we know without a doubt that the mineralization is present the entire 20 kilometers. This is the footprint of all the drilling we've done. We lose some detail in the stripped area where there are several drill holes and lots of channels, but there's been just over 10,000 meters drilled into this approximate 2.2 kilometers. You don't see the road, it's just off to the side of the slide, but you do see the clear cut for the power line. That's the vertical line on the right-hand, the right-hand side of the image. So I have been telling you, and I'm not going to read my slides, I'm hoping you guys are, but I'll circulate this later, I'll put it on the website. This is an early image from our initial modeling. Once we have none of these newer traces, you can see they don't necessarily have cartoon mineralization associated with them. It's because we don't have the assay values. So once we have the assays in, we'll be able to tighten this up nicely. We will be using a software called Leapfrog. This was generated in a software called Micromine, but we'll be using Leapfrog to generate a solid, and that'll give us an idea of volume. And then we'll be able to do some math to give us an idea of potential over the 20 kilometers that this structure runs for. So we're going to continue this process. And like I started to say, or maybe I said, I can't remember, trying to be quick. We expect to have all our assays by the end of this month, which is super exciting and a little bit faster than I anticipate, actually. Now, Beaupré. Beaupré we stripped. the mineralization. To refresh your memory, perhaps, Beaupré was a copper discovery made by SOCHEM where they grabbed 8% copper just off of a road, a lumber road on the property. There's no record of anything existing here, and in fact, it's a geophysical low. There's no geophysical indication of anything existing. There may have been some blasting at one point. We see what looks like blast rock, but again, not recorded. We are very close to the Cadillac break. The little red line is Beaupré, and you can see how it relates to Victoria and Lalonde. But you can also see as you look to the Cadillac break, there's several well-defined faults, and there's possibly a dike, which Beaupré is manifesting itself on surface at the end of a dike. So there's a lot happening structurally. The Cadillac break is bending. It's a super exciting place to make any kind of discovery, and copper is definitely a topical discovery to make in today's day and age with, some of the news in the world, and copper is not coming to market, it's leaving the market. So we're excited about Beaupré. We stripped it. We only managed to grab 5 grab samples, largely from more or less under the snow because winter moved in early this year. And, we'll be back in the spring. We are going to map the stripped area. We stripped along strike and we stripped a crosscut. We're looking for on-echelon veining and to just get a better look at the mineralization. Mineralization takes the form of chalcopyrite and bornite. Those are giving us copper, and there's also silver in that system. It's quite interesting. One of our samples came back, and I'm not even sure if it was this sample, to be honest with you, but one of them came back at 2.46% copper, and you can see what the rock looks like on the surface. So there you go. Beaupré done and dusted. Moving on to Parbec. Probably haven't heard me say a lot about Parbec for quite some time, except to say we're remodeling Parbec. That process is still ongoing. It's by no means complete as yet. However, one of the very exciting conclusions that's come is we have a local geologist who's extremely well versed in the camp, and he's very well respected as a geologist. He did the first mapping of the Pontiacs in contact with Cadillac break on this property, and he's interpreted, and you can see it there, a possible drag fold. That's exciting because that is an aperture or an opening into the Pontiac. May well be the reason we have the magnetic diorite, which is the higher grade gold occurrence. Fluid was able to enter the Cadillac system, separate from the Cadillac system, and to emplace itself in conjunction with cross-faulting to emplace itself in east-west structures. Cadillac break fundamentally runs northwest to southeast, so an east-west structure is not quite perpendicular to the break, but we see these structures, and these are level plans which have been illustrated with the structural interpretation, and we see these bodies, the cross-faulting to the northeast or to the east, and then the porphyry is the mineralization that runs with the Cadillac break. So that's a new interpretation. That's the basis upon which our guys are now rebuilding the model. There are about 5 geologists that have weighed in on this to agree on it. So it's super exciting. And stay tuned on Parbec. We're not done. We already have targets for surface work and drilling based on this interpretation. So Anna, that's my quick and dirty update for everyone. More to come. Stay tuned for assay results. That's probably the next big news. But there we go. That's my...
Nicole, you've about 2 minutes. Do you want to take some questions or do you need to hop off?
No, I don't need to hop off. If there's something quick, we can do it.
Let's, Sam Estrada says, is there any current indication of the results of the recent drilling at Victoria? If you can explain what is expected.
Well, the only indication is what I just spoke to, the highest XRF numbers yet. However, XRF measures a very small area, so I will not be sharing those numbers. But I expect mineralization everywhere on, to increase the domain of the mineralization. So no doubt there.
And Matt Pierce asks, are there some minerals that you're more focused on than others since you've been involved with different metals for so long?
Well, we were a gold company, and then I staked all this ground and discovered that the historic work was actually joined by a very pronounced geophysical feature that reflects mineralization. So we've now found ourselves with the happy accident of a 20-kilometer long structure, which is 3 different lithologies are carrying the mineralization as stated in the slides. It's going to fundamentally come down to either zinc or nickel being the prominent one. It's too early to call. And if we find the hidden VMS we feel is lurking, then that's a different game altogether. That could well bring copper back into the picture. Parbec is gold. We've had Parbec for quite some time. So my job is to find economic. I'm not going to say no to any mineral.
And Chris is new to Renforth. He wants to know a little bit about you. How long have you been exploring? What's your history with Renforth? And did you take it over? What's the story?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't even tell you how long, Chris, but I'm an exploration contractor and I'm old enough that I was in the business when computers started to be used to model data. But we were owed a lot of money by Renforth, so became the largest shareholders. And then I decided to become the president just as we slid into a very long bear market for junior exploration. So my expertise is logistics. It's delivering boutique exploration programs for clients. My personal expertise is in modeling data. And I've been doing this a little while. Identified, created a maiden resource, successfully sold an asset. So I have a little bit of a track record, but I'm not a promoter. So I've been told I could have a higher profile, but it's not my priority. My priority is doing the exploration.
And last question from Amanda Lloyd. Is there an estimated time when work will resume at Beaupré? Is that how I say it?
Beaupré. We need the snow off the ground is the first answer. So that puts us well into the spring. It's been a funny year up there. They've had a lot of snow. So I'm going to tell you not before May. It's probably going to be a summer thing because we want things to dry out. But we'll have the benefit of doing our first mapping with Mother Nature, having had a season at the Bear Rock. So that's actually a good thing. So it's probably, early to midsummer for Beaupré.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for this update. And we look forward to seeing you again in 2024.
Thanks so much. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Awesome. All right, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back with Region Biopharma.